I thought you tried using 2 different companies.
It is going to be competitively bidded
You're on the
for.
process.
So what is this issue?
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Honourable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we'll take item number 25. It's a procedural motion.
Yes, Minority Chief Whip, item 25.
Speaker, in the spirit of cooperation, we are not opposed.
Chairman of the Committee, item 25.
Mr. Speaker, I move that motion number 25 on today's order paper on page 10 be taken now. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honourable members, motion moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. It is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, this is a procedural motion. The question is, as many as are in favour of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Now, consequential motion numbered 26. Chairman of the Committee.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this Honourable House adopts the report of the Finance Committee on the master agreement between the Government of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, and the Ghana Revenue Authority and Tata Consultancy Services Limited be for professional services be moved. But Mr. Speaker, in so doing, I would like to present the committee's report. Mr. Speaker, the master agreement between the Government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, and the Ghana Revenue Authority and Tata Consultancy Limited for professional services and the waiver of withholding tax on the income of the service provider and value-added tax on imported services amounting to 10.46 million Ghana cedis was presented to the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana by the Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. Kesel Atoforsen, in accordance with Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution on Thursday, 30th November 2025. Mr. Speaker, I beg that Hansard may capture the entire report. Mr. Speaker, the object of this agreement is to enable the Ministry of Finance implement an integrated tax assessment system, administration system, using the services of Tata Consultancy Services. Mr. Speaker, this agreement was signed in 2024. The ministry inherited it, but at the time the ministry inherited it, the IMF, having looked at the agreement and having looked at the services that Tata Services was going to provide, had decided that it was so crucial to the implementation on the ongoing program, and therefore made it a structural benchmark. Unfortunately, the implementation could not happen before the government left office and the current finance minister took over. By which time the IMF has progressed this arrangement to become a prior action for our subsequent reviews. As a result, the minister has come to us to seek approval for one, the master agreement, and two, the withholding taxes of 10.46 million, so that he can go ahead and implement the program. Mr. Speaker, the committee therefore recommends to this House to adopt the report and grant the minister the permission to proceed with this agreement. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The motion move and the report presented. Any seconder? Yes, Honourable Richard Achampong.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion and speak to the reports before us. Mr. Speaker, all of us are crying for revenue mobilization. So if there is any solution that will help us generate more revenue, I think that's the way to go. This is a new solution which will bring efficiency and help us generate more revenue for our national development. So the committee met, and the explanation they gave to us got us convinced that if you get this solution approved, it's going to enhance our revenue mobilization. They've implemented this in other jurisdictions, which has given them between 15 to 30% revenue increase. So we believe that if we're able to procure this solution, it's going to enhance our revenue generation, and we can get more resources for national development. So I think this is a very good solution that we need to approve. And then the original agreement was 53.4 million, and it was revised to 44.24 million, making a savings of 9.16 million. So I think the minister has done well by way of renegotiating the numbers for us to get value for money. So I call on my colleagues to support this report so that we get it done, and then the minister can move to correct more revenue for us. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Members, motion moved and seconded. It is for the consideration of the House. Yes, Honourable Jerry Shaib.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I have been thinking that 20% exemption is humongous for a company like Tata. I think that does not provide us a level playing field against the backdrop that we know that this is a tax on account. The government is granting Tata an exemption of the withholding tax of 20%. Mr. Speaker, withholding tax is a tax on account. What it means is that it will help GRA to determine the income of the business, and the amount of monies that will be accrued will now be diverted. What would have come to Ghana if it is $10 million? And Mr. Speaker, that is huge. And this is now what we are diversifying as a result of this waiver. And Mr. Speaker, if we should go this route, and we are not very careful in providing a level playing field for Ghanaian companies, because if you are talking about Tata, it's not a small company. It's a big company. They have the wherewithal, they have the capacity, they have the resources. So this is something that I think that to a larger extent is not a bad step, but the company in perspective, the company that we are looking at, it's not a company that is now wobbling. It's a company that is already on its feet and has the resources. What are we doing to other businesses who are not in the same position to, as it were, compete with them? Mr. Speaker, I think that we should have a real look at this and see if we can still look at some amendments and maybe even the amount involved before we proceed to have a finality on this matter. Mr. Speaker, is respectfully submitted.
Yes. Yes.
Speaker,
Yeah.
let the record reflect, and same was discussed at the committee, that it was a majority decision. It was a majority decision. And our dissenting view is premised on principle. It's Speaker, last year, and I'm happy my friend, the minister, is here. In his other world, he was the minority leader. And I witnessed the passion with which he spoke against exemption generally. Back and forth, this House had to pass the exemption bill into law. And even at the point when we're bringing exemptions that were related to 1D, 1F, with the intention of creating jobs, 1D, 1F concept, creating jobs, tax waiver, our friend held the red flag, and it was all over the country. I don't know what has changed. So we are opposed, and I've been issued, we have to make this point. We are opposed to this exemption, a whooping volume of 10 million being given to Tata. We are opposed. As the reasons are not far-fetched. We want to appeal to our colleagues. They should stay on principle. He had espoused this principle last year, and now he was then minority leader, now he's finance minister. One would have thought that he's empowered to ensure that his principle that he believed then will be put into force. Now he's picking and choosing. When it's about Tata, he's bringing the exemption. When it's about something else, we hear a different story. It's disappointing. Finance chairman. I see the committee chairman staring at me. And I know he agrees with me. Your world has changed. Therefore, the narrative has also changed. Very interesting. And this is truly revealing. I don't know what you'll be telling Ghanaians. That one breath, tax exemptions that were brought into this chamber by the MPP administration to create jobs for the youth. One can imagine the number of jobs that were lost to the youth at that time, when about 47 tax exemptions were opposed. And you look at the road minister, he's also looking at me.
What has changed?
They oppose it. I feel sad. Today we are being invited to be part of an illegality, something that they spoke against.
And then you're looking at a company like Tata.
Anyway, we are opposed. And it is interesting that even the Income Tax Act 2015 itself gives the Commissioner General of GRA some powers. This application should rather be made to him. Don't bring it to this House. Especially knowing your track record, what you stood for. So, Speaker, we are opposed, and I urge my side. And I see very principled members on their backside. You should leave them alone. They are on their own. Go by principle. You are saying that we should oppose tax exemption. And Speaker, I recall how passionate the Honorable Atuforsen argued then. Today,
what has changed?
He's picking and choosing and veering off.
What has changed?
So, Speaker, we are opposed. Let the record reflect that the mighty minority is opposed to this tax waiver. We are opposed to this tax waiver.
Which is about 20
I don't know what justification you are going to give to Ghanaians who voted for you massively based on principle. Now you are shying away from the very principle by which you were voted into office. God will judge you. Speaker, having said this, I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Finance Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the 28th of May, 2024, the Ghana Revenue Authority signed a contract between Tata and GRA. Mr. Speaker, the procurement of the ITAS project initially commenced through a competitive bidding in January 2024. Mr. Speaker, however, this process was cancelled towards its conclusion due to a transition between Commissioner General Ami Shaddai and Commissioner General Julie Esiam. When Commissioner General Julie Esiam took office, Mr. Speaker, the new leadership of GRA awarded this contract on sole sourcing basis, even though there was a running competitive sourcing. Mr. Speaker, it did not stop there. About 1 month to the general elections, in fact, on the 4th of November 2024, an addendum was signed by Tata Consultancy Services Limited and GRA. And Commissioner General Julie Esiam signed on behalf of the GRA. Mr. Speaker, the details are as follows. It says that subject to approval provided by Parliament of Ghana, Tata Consultancy Service is entitled to 20% withholding tax exemption from 1st of January 2025 till the end date, as set out under clause 4 of the SOW. Mr. Speaker, it says that GRA shall be responsible and do all such act required for obtaining such approval from Parliament. Mr. Speaker, my principle still holds. My position on tax is unwavering. Mr. Speaker, everyone knows my views about tax exemptions. But Mr. Speaker, this is agreement that was signed by the Ghana Revenue Authority, by the previous administration, imposing an obligation on the people of Ghana. So, Mr. Speaker, the key point here is that the GRA is entitled to ensure that 20% withholding tax is given to Tata Consultancy Service. So, Mr. Speaker, I have not signed this contract. In fact, the new Commissioner General, Mr. Anthony Sapon, never signed this contract. Mr. Speaker, the only reason why I am bringing this to Parliament is that, Mr. Speaker, Tata Consultancy Service, first, is a foreign company. And before this contract should have been signed, Mr. Speaker, they should have come to Parliament under Article 1815. Mr. Speaker, they did not come to you under Article 1815 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, I'm here to make sure that the right thing is done. I am cleaning your mess. That's what I'm doing. Mr. Speaker, apart from that, Mr. Speaker, this tax obligation, the Ministry of Finance cannot sit at the office and approve it. I am bringing it, Mr. Speaker, for approval because, Mr. Speaker, if you look at the wording in the addendum, it further states that the GRA shall be responsible and do all such acts required for obtaining such approvals from Parliament of Ghana and immediately notified Tata Consultancy Services of such approval. Mr. Speaker, I'm only doing my work. I'm only doing what I have been asked to do. Mr. Speaker, I thought my colleague would rather applaud me. Mr. Speaker, I did not only stop there. Mr. Speaker, let me tell you what I did again. Mr. Speaker, because the process of competitive sourcing was truncated, I asked the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority to further renegotiate the program. Mr. Speaker, in renegotiating it, this is the outcome. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, we were able to reduce the cost of software and related items from $25.3 million to $20 million, saving $5.3 million on one line alone. Mr. Speaker, I did not end there. I also negotiated downwards hardware and related items from $15 million to $13.7 million. Mr. Speaker, overall, everything put together, we saved $9 million plus for renegotiating this agreement. Mr. Speaker, the reason why I renegotiated this agreement and ensure that we implement it well, one, is to be legal and stay within the remit of the law. And Mr. Speaker, most importantly, the IMF has identified the implementation of this particular ITAS software as a structural benchmark that has been turned to prior action. And so it is critical for the Republic of Ghana to implement it. But Speaker, let me put on record that in spite of all the challenges around this ITAS software, it is obvious that the ITAS will provide a 360-degree view of taxpayers' obligation and interactions to enable risk-based compliance management, timely enforcement, and targeted taxpayer support. It will also integrate the domestic tax administration system with existing customs platform, Mr. Speaker, such as ICOMS. Mr. Speaker, aside that, it will also integrate with the registrar of companies so that we'll be able to know who is behind every single transaction. Mr. Speaker, the IMF has encountered this ITAS software somewhere, and they believe that it's a good software that will work for the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, and so I am here identifying that the software is good. The previous administration took the software, thought it was good. Mr. Speaker, the IMF has confirmed that the software is good. I have to implement it. But before I implement it, I have to come and clean everything else that I believe was wrong, Mr. Speaker, and that includes seeking parliamentary approval and renegotiating the rate down. Mr. Speaker, all what I've done is just to be legal and to implement the program as has been renegotiated and as we have reduced the cost by about $9 million United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, that is the reality. My position on taxes hasn't changed, Mr. Speaker, and it will never change. Thank you very much.
Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Honourable members, let me reiterate the fact that it is right if you give the opportunity to leadership to speak last. After giving the opportunity to the leadership to speak, I have a difficulty looking back.
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members,
Mr. Speaker.
As I am here, if the rules are breached and you are up on point of order, I know. If there is a breach of the rule and you are up on point of order, I know.
27.
Until I realize that the rules are breached and you are up on point of order, I will not. Yes, consequential resolution 27.
Mr. Speaker, we will take item 27, the consequential resolution.
Yes, Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that motion advertised as item 27 be taken now. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
All members, motion move. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I write to second the motion.
Honourable members, this is a consequential resolution. The question is, as many as are in favor of resolution number 27 at page 11 of today's order paper, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The resolution is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we'll go back to commentary on
28-29.
Yeah, I thought so. It has not been done. The tax waiver. The tax waiver.
No, they are all together. So I have to resolution 30.
30. Yes. 28-29. Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we still have resolution 30 outstanding because I only moved resolution 27, and so I have to add resolution 30.
Honourable Majority Leader, I think we have to take motion number 28, 29, and then the consequential resolution number 30.
Yes, that's all. All of that. Yes. That's all. So let's take the...
It was one report, and so it's only the resolution that is outstanding.
Mr. Speaker, let's just take 28.
Motion number 28, Chairman of the Committee.
Mr. Speaker, I move that motion number 28 on today's order paper be moved now. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, this is a procedural motion. The question is, as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Consequential motion number 29.
Mr. Speaker, the report for the exemption was incorporated in the earlier report that we adopted. So 29 is not necessary. What we need is the consequential resolution, that is item 30.
Yes, I want the chairman to move and give this explanation. And then once it is seconded, because we have debated already, I'll put a question that will move to the consequential resolution.
Mr. Speaker, in moving the earlier resolution, the motion, we inadvertently discussed and requested this with respect to the withholding tax agreement.
Chairman of the committee moved this motion and then indicated that the report has already been taken by the House.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I move that this Honorable House adopt the report of the Finance Committee on the request of waiver. Mr. Speaker, I move that the motion number 29 on today's order paper be moved now. Mr. Speaker, I so move, because I've already presented the report of the committee.
Thank you very much. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I would to second the motion.
Honourable members, in view of the fact that the motion in a way has been debated and the report adopted, I will put a question. As many as are in favor of the motion number 29, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Motion number 29 is adopted. Now consequential resolution number 30. Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that resolution advertised as item 30 be taken today. I so move.
Honourable members, any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Honourable members, this is a consequential resolution. I will therefore put a question. As many as are in favor of the consequential resolution, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Consequential resolution number 30 at page 12 and 13 of today's order paper is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader.
We will resume the comments on the budget statement.
Very well. I will then proceed to give the floor to Honorable Tetenyanko. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, except that I can see the Finance Minister is packing his books. Mr. Finance Minister, I can see that after passing resolutions and motions, he is packing his books to leave the chamber. Sit down and listen to the commentary on your budget. Don't leave the chamber. Your deputy is not the minister. You are. Sit down and listen.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
I thought the nice suit and tie would have changed his. Or he's aspiring to be a finance minister. He's always in Zalabia.
Honorable Tetenyanko, you have the floor. Your time is 5 minutes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to, within the next 5 minutes, comment on the 2026 budget statement and economic policy that was presented to us by the Minister for Finance, Dr. Kesel Atoba Forson. Speaker, the theme for this statement is resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Speaker, this is the budget that responds to the realities of today, and it is anchored on the solid foundations that were built during this fiscal year. Speaker, the figures tell us that the economy is doing very well. Speaker, the figures shows that the economy is growing at 6.3%. Speaker, the figures also indicate that inflation has fallen from about 40% to 8%. Speaker, the cedi has remained stable, and it is giving confidence to the investment community. Speaker, public debt has stabilized below 50% of GDP. And that is why today, Speaker, we can assure ourselves that Ghana has met almost all the ECOWAS convergence criteria. Yeah. That is a sign of restored macroeconomic discipline. Yeah. Speaker, these gains and other indicators are the foundations for the transformational agenda outlined in this 2026 budget statement. Speaker, the government projects to raise 268.1 billion Ghana cedis to finance its many projects and ambitious programs for the next 2026. And Speaker, at the center of this budget is a commitment to jobs creation, livelihood, and inclusive growth. That is why the government is expecting to spend over 300 billion cedis for the coming year. Speaker, a big portion of this amount is channeled into capital expenditure. Speaker, this is a strategic investment that is going to see massive infrastructural development to create thousands of direct and indirect jobs for the Ghanaian people. Right, Honorable Speaker, this is a job-focused budget with a real solution for the Ghanaian youth. But this budget is not only about growth, Speaker, it is about the people. And that is why the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, the Mahama Care, has come to reduce the cost of healthcare and to strengthen the Ghana Health Insurance Scheme. Right, Honorable Speaker, the 2026 budget is bold, the budget is credible. Speaker, the budget is future-oriented. It is a budget of hope. It is a budget of opportunities. It is a budget for every Ghanaian. It is a budget for rising Ghana. For that reason, Speaker, I call on this House, I call upon all well-meaning Ghanaians, I call upon all fair-minded Ghanaians, Speaker, to support this 2026 budget and economic policy. Right, Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Honourable members, I will proceed to give the floor to Honourable Chunibua Kodia Foko. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to address the 2026 budget, a document that at first glance presents itself like a roadmap to economic stability of this country. But, Mr. Speaker, we cannot rely only on lofty numbers and some optimistic projections. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the budget continues to rely on intentions without clear, practical measures to secure economic transformation. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget does not genuinely empower our people, it does not drive innovation, and it does not develop the human capital of this country. Mr. Speaker, The minister sitting across was boastful of his government's achievements as having stabilized this economy. But, Mr. Speaker, the big question that we should be asking is what specifically has the minister or the government done to claim all this praise that is wishing for? Mr. Speaker, the recent S&P report, Standard & Poor report, that upgraded Ghana is being talked about a lot. Yes, they've upgraded Ghana to B- for the long term and B for the short term. But, Mr. Speaker, if you read the report right from the beginning, it says their upgrade is based on the fact that Ghana has benefited from our commodities, and they mentioned gold and they mentioned cocoa, that the price has been good in the international market, and based on that, we have gotten some good revenues. These revenues have built our reserves so well, and they have supported the cedi. They have supported the cedi, and by extension, the inflation that we have seen going down. So, Mr. Speaker, if indeed we have benefited from our natural resources, the commodities that are doing well in the international market, what really is our contribution to this, Mr. Speaker? Really, this is the international market that is playing in our favor. It could go to either direction at any point in time. So we shouldn't praise ourselves. Mr. Speaker, second point of this S&P upgrade, they said that in October 2024, Ghana restructured an amount of $13.1 billion US. Mr. Speaker, October 2024. And this is what has created the fiscal space that we have now. So when the minister is talking about bringing fiscal stability, this is where it started, October 2024. We restructured this and it created the fiscal space, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, now the other issue that we see going on, and we saw it in the budget, is that the minister is pushing towards short-termist approach, trying to achieve some figures in the short term, forgetting about sustainable growth. But, Mr. Speaker, what this country needs is sustainable growth, not short-term achievement for praise. And, Mr. Speaker, based on this, we have seen the minister rationing expenditure just for short-term achievements. The figures are clear. So you see major expenditure lines all lagging behind budgeted figures. Mr. Speaker, our CAPEX expenditure line, and CAPEX is what turns an economy around. This is capital expenditure. We budgeted 1.5% of GDP. How much has the minister spent so far? Just about 0.5% of GDP. Why is it so? Because the minister is looking at short-term achievement. Mr. Speaker, in a similar way, the Big Push agenda, this program that has been touted so much, you ask yourself, what has happened to it? 13 billion was allocated. How much has been committed? Less than 8 billion. Why? Because we are looking at short-term achievements. So, Mr. Speaker, the Big Push is not moving. So Ghanaians should watch out, Mr. Speaker. This year, the 2026 budget, the minister allocated 30 billion cedis towards this program. Ghanaians should watch out. If indeed the 30 billion, what level of expense is going to come from this, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, I continue. If you look at our expenditure, same way, from Q1 to Q3, primary expenditure, we are behind by 13.6. If you look at other expenditures, total expenditure for ASAP Kill 3, we are behind by 15%. Mr. Speaker, one other area that we should be looking out for is growth of our GDP. Mr. Speaker, currently the economy is growing at 6.3%. The minister is projecting to grow at 4.8% for 2026. You ask yourself why. This is depressing. Why should we be projecting to grow at 4.8 when we are growing at 6.3 now? Too depressing. Mr. Speaker, I can give you 10 years of GDP growth in this country. NDC left office 2016 with 3.37%. 2017, we moved it to 8.13%. 2018, 6.20%. 2019, 6.51%. Of course, 2020 to 2023 was the COVID era. 2024, we grew the economy and handed over at 5.7%. So why is the minister projecting to grow at 4.8%? Mr. Speaker, this economy should grow beyond 4.8%. Mr. Speaker, the economy is at a standstill. Mr. Speaker, I have some provisional figures for revenue shortfalls. This year, our revenue has had shortfalls, and this is serious for this country. If you look at our tax revenue, we are short by 8.9 billion cedis. Our domestic revenue, we are short by 6.8 billion cedis. Total revenue, we are short by 7.7 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, I want Ghanaians to know that when you have these revenue shortfalls, what you should anticipate is that there's going to be further cuts in expenditure, and this is going to hurt this country. Beyond that, the country should be expecting some subtle introduction of taxes of a sort, because the minister is falling behind in expenditure revenue. Mr. Speaker, further, as we go on, you ask yourself, what is in for the youth of this country? Mr. Speaker, the youth of this country are disappointed. What they were promised, the 24-hour economy, the 133 formation, is never happening. There is a word dodge there. The youth of this country will be calling the Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, there's a lot of rhetoric on this 24-hour economy. But, Mr. Speaker, the big question I will ask before my time is up is why is the minister or the government delaying in the rollout of its major programs? Why? All major programs have delayed. This Nkukon Kitinkiti program was only launched a day prior to the budget reading. Why? Why are all the programs delaying? When the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised certain programs, he went right away to work. Mr. Speaker, free SHS, we went right away to work. Planting for food and jobs, right away. One district, one factory, right away. Zongo Development Fund, right away. National identification, right away. NAPCO, right away. Infrastructure for poverty eradication, right away. Ghana Cares or Batampa program, right away. All these programs, we went right away to deliver. Why are the programs now delaying? That is the question. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, why is it that the budget that we have now is not transformative at all? It's like this budget is stuck in the past. We are running a budget that is stuck in the past. What has been the talk about innovation? No statement on innovation. No statement on digital transformation. No statement on human capital development.
Honourable Member, your time is up. Yes, Honourable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we will take questions to the ministers. The ministers are all here. We finished the commentary for the day. I think we've exhausted the list. We have not? I got a signal from the speaker that I got a signal from the speaker that the list given to him has been exhausted. Unless you have a different list.
Yes, honourable members, I had 9 from the minority and 6 from the majority. So by the 6th, if I want to go by it, taking 6-6, then the list is exhausted, unless I am to do otherwise.
Speaker, let me. Speaker, humbly, the minority chief whip in the morning suggested that we take 10-10 and say, oh, we have other businesses for today. So I propose that we take 6-6 so we can take questions, including statements. And so we submitted 6-6, even though he initially proposed 9. So I am being surprised that they went ahead to submit 9. It's not as if we are not capable, we are too capable. But to be able to accommodate other businesses. And ministers have been here since morning waiting for their time to answer the questions which you have filed. You have filed.
Yes, Majority Chief Whip. I think that is why the Attorney General and Minister for Justice is also here. The Minister for Fisheries is also here so that they can respond to the questions slated for them. But honourable members, going forward, if the case is that we will not take questions and statements, we will go strictly to take comment on the debate. I think the leadership must agree.
Mr. Speaker, what the majority chief whip is saying cannot be true, because the agreement that was agreed was to do 10-10, then the 10-10 they said no, then they agree on 9. That is why the minority chief whip have given you a list of 9. And the 3 other members, that is Professor, is the Honorable Collins, and then Kenneth. They are all seated here. They know that they are ready to debate. I don't know why you should be, your budget that you have presented, you have 189 members, and you can't bring 9 to debate for the first day. No. So add the 3. We will be able to do the debate. We will still listen to the questions from the Attorney General. But we have, our members are prepared, and they are seated here, the 3 of them.
But the question is not coming from the Attorney General. It's rather the answers that are coming from the
Okay, the answers are coming, Mr. Speaker. So, Majority Chief Whip, you have a lot of numbers. So just get a capable 3 to add. Mr. Speaker, and these people they are not those who speak for long. You see, the number is coming down. So let's just get the 3-3, because we can be reducing the number. But if we do 6 today, how many are we doing tomorrow? How many are we doing the next? Let's do numbers. You have numbers, then we can be able to move, Mr. Speaker. But 6 is still not adequate. Our members are ready to debate. So let the 3 of them debate, then we can answer the questions.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable First Deputy Minority Whip is in leadership. So sometimes you shouldn't rise and react to matters this way. You can't say that what I'm saying is not true. I engaged you. I engaged your boss. And we know, I told you that we can't go beyond 6 because of this other business. If you are insisting, say that we agreed on it, but now you still insist that we should take more. But don't say that what I'm saying was not discussed. We discussed it. Yes, but we are not supposed to submit 9. You're supposed to submit 6. Yes, so don't say that. So don't let it go into the record that what I'm saying is not accurate. Don't do that.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I mean, these are matters normally arranged by the whips. They organize their sides to prepare and participate in the debate. I can understand that the honorable members have prepared and would want to, but you will appreciate that we have government business. We also have, apart from the debate, we have personal business of members. You've asked a number of questions. The ministers have been here. Ordinarily, I think we should have even taken the questions before the comments on the budget. That's what we should have done. But we allowed the comment to start, and the ministers have been sitting in the whole day listening to us, and it won't be fair to them. So let's take the questions, And then I think the members, once they have prepared today, they will remain prepared till tomorrow. They will remain prepared till tomorrow. And so when we come tomorrow, we can enhance the numbers. It means that we'll have an understanding that perhaps we won't take many questions tomorrow, because we also don't want that, constant complaint that we have a backlog of questions and we're not giving room for question time and etc. So let us have the ministers answer the questions today, and then tomorrow we'll add the 3 to the list tomorrow. Now, if you want the debate to be rich, you need to give the members enough notice so that they prepare. You don't want members unprepared for debate. So I think that let's keep to the arrangement. Let the whips tomorrow try and then be firm on the numbers per day. They should have an indication how many people they want to debate for the entire period. And then let's also agree on the number of people who will be commenting each day. But for now, I plead with my colleagues on the other side that we should just have the ministers answer the questions.
Yes.
Speaker, in this House, we've often agreed to disagree. And when the majority leader is making pleadings, you don't want to disagree with him. That's fine. But for the record, early in the morning, and I was watching my respected whip, I approached him and told him we should do 10 apiece, for a reason. Oftentimes when it's budget time, a number of our colleagues are unable to speak to the budget. They don't get the opportunity to participate in the debate. So I thought that if we're doing 10, at least as many as members could have access, And then he mentioned that he'll get back to me. So you recall our conclave, I brought our list to you. And then you signaled, Honorable Champon, that our list has been submitted. He should bring his. When he brought it, it was 6. And I recall, Speaker, you indicated to him that you have brought 6. The minority have brought 10. All they needed to do was to get a difference of 4, to be added so that it becomes 10 apiece. I don't want to be doing this, that even the number of people that will speak to the budget, we are disagreeing on it. That shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be. So, Majority Leader, I will agree and accede to your call, except to add, just as we are attempting to agree and accede to your call, you should also make an attempt and meet so that we can meet each other midway. Now, we had programmed our colleagues 10 per day. All of them have been given prior notification. So, Leader, we won't disagree with you, except to say that if we are doing 6, a difference of 4, we could offload the 4 to some other day. We don't have a problem. So that all those who have been given notice and who have prepared adequately, they should be given the chance to speak. But on a more serious note, you have more members on your side. It's quite ironical that we are pushing for more members to comment. Yes. May I conclude?
My minority chief whip, where you are going is dangerous for you. I know, but where you are going may be dangerous for you. If you want to do it that way, you will be the very person that will complain.
I'll take a cue.
That's why we are not doing it on proportion basis. Take a cue.
I take a cue. Majority Leader, we plead that those that will outstand, so to speak, today, we find a way of accommodating them. On that score, we don't have a problem. We can go ahead and take the other business of the government side.
Very well. Honourable members, on this note, I would ask the whips to engage. Now, when they engage, they should advance their mind to whether or not we are taking questions, we are taking statements, because other government business must be taken in addition to the commentary. So if you are not taking questions, then we are clear we are not taking questions. If you are not taking statements, then we are clear we are not taking statements. So that there will be a clear roadmap for tomorrow. In the meantime, honourable members, we have scheduled questions for the Minister, the Attorney General, and then the Minister responsible for Justice. He is seated. May I humbly ask him to take the designated seats, and I will call on the questioners to pose the questions to him. So we are now on item numbered 7. Urgent questions. The first urgent question is standing in the name of Osahin Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Makin, Member of Parliament for Afutu. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise under Order 88.3. I have the authorization.
You are permitted to ask the question, so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Attorney General and Minister for Justice the basis for the administrative decision by IOCO to demand justification as a bail condition for suspects in recent times, particularly appointees of the previous government.
Yes, Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Article 14, Clause 4 of the Constitution, the EOCO and other law enforcement agencies are mandated to effect arrests and to release persons who have been arrested either unconditionally or upon reasonable conditions necessary to ensure that the accused persons or the suspects appear at a later date to stand trial. The justification for bail conditions, even if on an administrative basis, in the recent cases is not new, and there is no intent on the part of the EOCO and the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice to impose arbitrary bail conditions on government appointees of the previous government. The grant of bail with adequate justification ensures that suspects will attend court when they are needed to stand trial. Mr. Speaker, this is my answer to the first question.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the Attorney General and Minister for Justice whether he thinks that the bail conditions currently done by IOCO, you think it's the right way that bails should be set for any Ghanaian, not necessarily people in the political class?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I have already made it abundantly clear that the Economic and Organized Crime Office and other law enforcement agencies under my ministry are not acting arbitrarily. Bail depends on the crime, the gravity of the crime. And so what we are seeing now is that the sums involved in the criminal investigations are very huge. And because they are very huge, if you set very low bail conditions in terms of the sums, the likelihood is that when the person, the suspect, escapes or is unavailable to stand trial, whatever you are able to extort in justification will not be able to offset the sum that is involved, the criminal liability that is involved. So, for instance, if you have a situation where the suspect is accused of, let's say, causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 1 billion Ghana cedis, or stealing in the sum of 31.1 million Ghana cedis, you cannot set bail terms that are, unjustifiably low. So it is the magnitude of the offenses we are dealing with that dictates that we set bail sums that reasonably justify the crimes that have been committed or alleged to have been committed.
Any further questions?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Attorney General and Minister for Justice. My little reading. Bail. Conditions. Will you consider other form of conditions for granting bail to former appointees if you reasonably believe that the person will be available when needed? Because I might be wrong, but my thinking is that bail is set out in many cases so that the person can still be available, so, or maybe the person will not run away. After taking the passport of the person, but asking for landed property, justifiable surety.
Honorable member, you are violating standing order 88.
But Mr. Speaker, so my question, will you consider other form of bail condition rather than this current form IOCO is implementing?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The Minority Chief Whip is asking me about other forms of bail conditions. As a lawyer, I have been trained to do what is traditionally and legally acceptable before the courts of law. So bail sums, usually bail conditions are either tied to the sums of money to be justified by landed property and so on and so forth. And we haven't done anything that is out of the ordinary. We have followed strictly what is permissible under the law and then, of course, practice. So I haven't done anything out of the ordinary. I don't know what other forms of bail conditions he has in contemplation. Maybe if he has any advice that he wants to give in respect of alternative ways of doing this, I'm willing to consider them.
Yes.
Attorney General, will you review the current bail conditions imposed on people on the custody of IOCO, considering that the courts have varied some of the conditions that IOCO have imposed? For example, the former boss of BOST, IOCO gave a bill of 60 million Ghana cedis. The court today reviewed it to 30 million. Will you consider reviewing the current bail condition, people who are still in the custody of IOCO when unable to meet the condition of the bill? Will you?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The Minority Chief Whip himself has used the word review. The first Deputy Speaker, the first Deputy Whip has used the word review. Usually, when the bail is set by law enforcement and the suspect feels that the bail conditions are, onerous, they go to court. That's why they hire lawyers. So the lawyers go to apply to court for a review, a review downwards, a downward adjustment of the bail conditions. And that is what has happened in the instant that you have rightly pointed out. That was what happened. The bail was set by EOCO, I think, at 60 million, okay, with sureties to be justified. And the Human Rights Court, upon an application being made by the suspect, reviewed the bail, condition downward to 30 million. That is for the court to decide.
Yes, Honorable Nitiwul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the administrative decision by the Economic and Organized Crime Office to demand justification as a bail condition, is it a new phenomenon or it has always
existed. And if it's a new phenomenon, as the chief advisor to government, will you recommend it to be used for future crime-related issues as we go on as a country?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, remember that the EOCO is a law enforcement agency with the same powers as the police. Okay? What they are doing now is not new. It is the same thing that the police do sometimes when you are granted bail by the police on what they call police inquiry bail. So what they are doing now is not new, and I don't think that it should change, because it is a system that has been put in place to ensure that people are, available to stand trial. You can imagine a situation where the bail conditions were lax, all right, and then, people, for instance, currently, right, there are some people that we are looking for to stand trial, whose names I would not mention, who are out of the jurisdiction. So in those, they have, basically absconded, and we cannot, get them except through an extradition process. So I think that what is happening now should stay, and it is nothing out of the ordinary. In all common law jurisdictions that I know, in the United States of America, in the United Kingdom, in Australia, in Canada, in our common, law sister countries in Nigeria and so on, those are the methods well known to the law that are used to ensure that persons suspected of criminal conduct are available to stand trial.
Leadership, in view of the fact that we have 9 questions to deal with, how many supplementary questions do I take? We have 9 questions. So, leaders, get together and advise me. So I will then come to the leadership. Honorable Jerry, you have the floor.
I'll yield to my colleague Bafo.
Yes, Honorable Member, you have
Mr.
the floor.
Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Attorney General, considering that you are also the Minister for Justice, would you say that when you wear your other hat, what suspects are currently going through, would you say that is fair and consistent with the requirements of human rights protection? Would you say that?
Yes, Honorable Attorney General.
Mr. Speaker, the Economic and Organized Crime Office is one of the key law enforcement agencies under my ministry. In my capacity as Minister of Justice and Attorney General, those are 2 positions that have been merged by both the Constitution and decisions of the President. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing unjust or unfair with respect to what is happening. I am standing on firm ground in saying this, because the sums of money and the criminal enterprise that are the subject matter of the bail conditions that are being imposed have never before been seen in our country. And that is the reason why it is important that we take stringent steps to continue to do what we are doing. Because unless we do so, and unless we make it impossible for criminals to escape from the grips of the law, then it means that the criminal justice system can be undermined. And so I think that there is nothing wrong, there is nothing unjust with what is happening.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, it's just a matter of information. If I have your pleasure, I'm coming.
Honorable
87.
Deputy Minority Whip, when it is time for supplementary question, tell me the rules that I will apply to let you give information.
Mr. Speaker, this was because the Honorable Attorney General made
I believe you are holding the rules.
Mr. Speaker, I'm holding the
So
Constitution.
guide me by the rules
Mr.
under
Speaker, I'm
which
holding
you will
the
be
Constitution.
permitted.
And to the effect of...
The Deputy Minority Leader is holding the rules, so you can also guide me with the rules
Mr.
under
Speaker,
which I will permit you to give
I am
information.
looking at the Constitution, and to the effect that if we come and say that the amount involved in a matter is the basis for which the bail conditions are considered. Mr. Speaker, I'm only here to let us understand that that would be just a one-sided information from the Attorney General. We need to, Mr. Speaker, we need to have everybody...
Honorable, I'm sorry to say that you are completely out of order. Honourable members, let's move to question numbered 7B, standing in the name of Mumuni Mohammed Nuruddin, Member of Parliament for Nareruku, Gambaga.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Attorney General and Minister for Justice the plans of the ministry to extradite Madam Stedinam Tamakulu, who was convicted for misappropriating funds.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, the request for the extradition of Sedina Christine Tamaklo Atienu was dispatched on 19 July 2024 through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the Department of Justice of the United States of America for execution. Our office, that is the Office of the Attorney General, is awaiting the execution of our request to have her extradited to serve her prison sentence in Ghana. The International Cooperation Unit of the Attorney General's Department followed up on our request from the Department of Justice, the United States of the United States of America in September 2025. So if there is any impression being created that I am not taking any steps, this is the evidence that in September, that is just a month ago, I took the step of inquiring from the United States Justice Department the steps that they were taking in respect of the extradition. And they indicated that they are following their extradition procedures in executing the request, and that the fugitive would be extradited as soon as they have satisfied all the procedures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister, has there been any request for Interpol notice?
Request for? Is a notice to Interpol? Yes, Honourable Minister. Is there any request for Interpol notice?
No, Mr. Speaker, in the case of Sedina Atienu, she has been tried and convicted. She is not a fugitive from justice in the sense, in the same sense as the Honourable Kenneth Oforiatta, who was a fugitive from justice, who is a fugitive from justice that we are seeking to bring back to trial. In her case, she has been tried and convicted, and all we want is for her to be extradited to serve the sentence. So there's no need for us to, serve an Interpol notice in that respect.
Any further question?
Mr. Speaker, I want to find out what was the amount involved in the case.
Please, kindly file a specific question.
Mr. Speaker, it's the same thing.
Please, look at your question and see whether it relates to anything regarding amount to enable the minister do so in coming to answer the question.
All right, right answer. Thank you very much. Mr. Minister, I don't have any other question. What I have is an appeal. Do whatever you can to get our
Honorable member, you are completely out of order. Resume your seat. Yes, Honorable Kinsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my senior for the answers he has provided. Writing to the U.S. State Department in September was a little too late, but it's better than nothing. I want to find out from you, what steps have you put in place to ensure that the extradition process takes place to the benefit of the nation? Thank you.
It flows from the answer, but I'll give the opportunity to the minister.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, once you make an extradition request, it is left to the authorities under the Mutual Legal Assistance Arrangement. The competent authorities in the United States of America are the ones who have to take the steps. The matter, we cannot do anything to quicken the process. For instance, I can't go to the US and then ask to be joined to the action to quicken the process. So it's the Justice Department that must comply with American law in extraditing her to come and serve her sentence in Ghana. So it is out of my hands. All I can do is to constantly remind them that we want her extradited to stand trial. That is all that I can do at this point in time.
Yes, Honorable Boama.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right. The suspect or the alleged woman is currently, if the Attorney General has knowledge of the country that she is in. Thank you.
Your question should be, is the AG having an information whether the suspect is in US or in any other country?
That is so, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Or the convict?
Yes. Mr. Speaker, point of correction. She is no longer a suspect. She has been convicted. But I can confirm, without any fear of contradiction, that she's in the United States of America, and that is why we applied to the American authorities for extradition proceedings to commence.
Yes, leadership.
Mr. Speaker, please allow you to Asafaji.
Honorable Asafaji, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask or seek clarification from the Minister of Justice or Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, the clarification is on fugitive of law. Justice. Is that the person, such as a criminal suspect or witness, who tries to elude law enforcement or flee the jurisdiction based on law enforcement or justice. Yeah, law enforcement or justice. So when you say Sedinam is not a fugitive of justice, I am a bit not clear. So if you can clarify who a fugitive of justice is. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member, you are completely out of order. Yes, Majority Leader. You can look at the rule whether the rules allow you, instead of supplementary question, you ask for clarification. This is the House guided by rules. Yes? Honourable members, we move to question number 7C, standing in the name of Reverend John Ntim Fojo. Yes?
Mr. Speaker, with deference to you, I wish to apply, with your permission, and with the authority of Reverend Tim Fojo.
Please do.
Very well, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Attorney General and Minister for Justice what steps the ministry is taking to ensure expeditious prosecution of criminal narcotics cases.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, narcotic cases, like all other criminal cases, received by the Attorney General's Department are assigned to attorneys for advice and possible prosecution. The Prosecution Division has a dedicated team of attorneys for handling narcotic cases, and the numerical strength of this team in the early part of 2025 has increased from 6 to 15 attorneys to adequately cater for the increasing number of narcotic cases affected by the Narcotic Control Commission officers. The team currently handles narcotic cases within and outside Accra. The Office of the Attorney General, as part of its continuous learning and training policy for attorneys, made arrangements for its narcotic team in June 2025 to join officers from other stakeholder institutions like NACOC, Ghana Police, and Food and Drugs Authority to participate in a training that was dubbed Combating Fentanyl and International Narcotic Trafficking, which was organized by the Embassy of the United States of America in Accra. The training was to create awareness about evolving narcotic drugs and effective investigation and prosecution skills to combat their usage. The Office of the Attorney General presents cases for trial, and from then on, the courts are in charge of the progress of the case. The Judiciary, together with the parties, ensure expeditious prosecution of cases, including narcotic cases. That said, the Director of Public Prosecutions, that is the DPP, has effective internal procedures to ensure that attorneys handling all criminal cases, including narcotics, work assiduously to dispose of these cases timeously. This includes remanding suspects within 48 hours of arrest and advising on narcotic cases quickly in line with protocols of the office. The Office of the Attorney General has, between the period July to September 2025, experienced delays in receiving analytical reports from the Ghana Standards Authority and Food and Drugs Authority in respect of seized items suspected to be narcotics, and this has caused unprecedented delays in proffering the appropriate charges against the suspects who were arrested within that period. The office is reliably informed by officials of the Narcotics Control Commission responsible for assisting the prosecution of narcotic cases that the impasse has been resolved, and they are working assiduously to submit recent dockets to the Office of the Attorney General for the commencement of prosecutions. Mr. Speaker, the Attorney General is in receipt, the department is in receipt of requests for a fiat from Narcotic Control Commission to enable NACOC lawyers to prosecute narcotic cases, and I am consulting other stakeholders to decide, make a decision in that regard. Granting this request would prevent submitting narcotic dockets to the Office of the Attorney General for advice and possible prosecution, and thereby reduce the delays in prosecuting narcotic cases. Additionally, having the NACOC arresting officers, investigators, and prosecutors under one umbrella to combat the threats of that narcotic pose to national security is an ideal situation that I am hoping will achieve in the shortest possible time. Mr. Speaker, my office has been reliably informed that the NACOC has also approached the acting Chief Justice and requested for costs that will be dedicated to specifically handle narcotic cases, and the acting Chief Justice, now the Chief Justice, he was sworn in yesterday, has agreed to meet NACOC executives for further discussions in that respect. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Jerry, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The respected Attorney General, are you respectfully able to tell this House, since you took office, the number of narcotic cases that you have dealt with, that your office or the department has dealt with?
Yes, Honorable Chief Whip, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, my brother, the Honorable Shaib, knows that if he intends to elicit an answer to this question from the Honorable Attorney General, he needs to file a substantive question. No, the rules frowns on you introducing a matter that was not contained in the original question. If you want a new matter, file a substantive question.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I can abandon that question and proceed on another question.
Very well.
The respected Attorney General, do you have other means of training lawyers and the police in dealing with issues of narcotics to expedite prosecution on narcotics? Do you have any new means?
So long as your question is not limited to prosecution, it will be overruled.
Mr. Speaker, I limited it to prosecution. Mr. Speaker.
You know the rules.
Mr. Speaker.
So frame the question well.
Honorable Attorney General, please, are you able to tell this House the exact steps that the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General has taken or have taken to deal with issues of narcotics? In other words, to expedite prosecution on narcotics.
This is the exact question that has been asked. The question says, the step the ministry is taking to ensure expeditious prosecution of criminal narcotic cases, which has been answered. So, are you repeating the same question for an answer?
Mr. Speaker, honestly, I didn't get the exact answers. I listened attentively, in silence, and I thought that maybe the Attorney General will be given the opportunity.
Well, by the rules, it is not the answer you want. It's the answer that is given.
Mr. Speaker, that will be all.
Very well, very well. Honourable members, let's move to oral questions. Question number 349, standing in the name of Professor Kinsley Nyako, Member of Parliament for Kwada. So you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Attorney General and Minister for Justice how the ministry intends to protect the integrity of the judiciary and also exude confidence in the citizenry in our judicial system. Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Office of the Attorney General, which the Honourable Member knows, is a creature of the Constitution and also part of the executive branch of government. As part of the executive branch of government, we have a distinct mandate under Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, and we are unable to directly protect the integrity of the judiciary or meddle in the affairs of the judicial arm of government. However, when the Office of the Attorney General conducts its business before the courts, the Attorney General, either by himself or through his officers, strive to uphold the integrity of the judiciary by complying with the timelines, orders, and decisions of the courts. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, this is a smart answer, not giving me space to maneuver. However, per your answer and as the principal legal advisor to the government, are you suggesting that you can't even make recommendations that will positively impact the integrity of the judiciary? Thank you.
But, honourable members, as we proceed to ask supplementary questions, we should have in mind that the judiciary is an arm of government. Yes, Honourable Minister. An independent arm of government.
Right, Honourable Speaker. I was asked a question with respect to the steps I'm taking to protect the integrity of the judiciary. Now, the Honourable Member is asking me for advice on what steps can be taken to protect the integrity of the judiciary. I think that the answer to that question lies in what I said earlier, which is that the judiciary is an independent, separate but equal arm of government, and that the judiciary is capable of protecting its own integrity. It does not need the Attorney General to protect its integrity. However, the Attorney General is the chief law enforcement officer of the Republic. If there are any breaches or matters that relate to ethical or legal breaches that occur in the judiciary, it is my duty, both under law and in accordance with the ethics of my office, to take steps in order, to prosecute, investigate, and prosecute those breaches. So until those have occurred, my powers are not triggered. My mandate will be exceeded if I interfere in the affairs of the judiciary.
Any further supplementary
Speaker,
question?
That is fair. The question was on two folds. Apart from the first one that you've answered, the second one that talks about how you can exude confidence in the citizenry was not captured within your response. Can you speak to that? Thank you.
Honourable Kizudunyaku, if the judiciary is an independent arm of government, Attorney General is part of the executives.
Speaker,
what exactly do you have in mind?
Speaker, the second part was and also exude confidence in the citizenry. So
yes, Minister.
Yeah. So we're all teachers, so we try to ask questions.
Mr. Speaker, I think I'll go back to my answer, which is that as an independent arm of government, the judiciary is capable of taking steps that will inspire confidence in the citizenry. It is not the duty of the Attorney General. Of course, I should not act in a way that undermines the integrity of the judiciary and that also lowers the confidence of the citizens in the judiciary of our country. But other than that, I think the judiciary has the power and the authority to act in a way that will inspire confidence in the citizens of this country.
Honourable members, can we move to question number 440? Standing in the name of Honourable John Dako, Member of Parliament for Swami. Yes, let me hear you, Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, I have the authorization of the Honourable Member, and subject to your permission, if I may, under 883.
Are you sure you have his authority?
That is so. He's in Brazil at the moment.
You have the floor.
Thank
you.
Please
ask.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the immediate measures the Office of the Attorney General is implementing to safeguard and promote fundamental human rights, particularly in response to recent reports of arbitrary arrest, prolonged pretrial detention, and alleged abuses of suspects.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Constitution of the Republic, in the context of Chapter 5, guarantees the fundamental rights of all citizens of our Republic, with specific reference to the issue raised in the question. Mr. Speaker, Article 14 of the Constitution has provided adequate safeguards for persons arrested and detained for more than the stated minimum period. Persons whose rights have been violated in this regard could invoke their rights as enshrined under the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, my office has not received any complaints about arbitrary arrests, prolonged pretrial detention, and alleged abuses of suspects. That said, law enforcement officers are not above the law, and where any such complaints are reported to my office, as the Minister of Justice, I will act swiftly to ensure that such flagrant abuses by law enforcement officers are stopped. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, there will be no supplementary question.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, may I know from the respected Attorney General what he means by he would act swiftly to deal with those kinds of arrests, those arbitrary arrests and the people who have been detained for longer periods? Because we have a lot of such cases pending. I want to find out from the respected Attorney General.
Pending at where?
Both at, Mr. Speaker, I know that there are institutions that he still has.
He said he has not received any such complaint. It is only upon receipt of the complaint that he will be able to act swiftly. So without a complaint, you are asking what means?
Yeah, well, but Mr. Speaker, he doesn't have to receive the complaint before I can ask him how swiftly he may be dealing with such, in case it comes before him.
Very well. Honourable Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, I don't know whether the Honourable Member did not understand the word swift, because basically what it means is that I will act quickly in order to deal with the matter. Now, Mr. Speaker, if a complaint is made, or where there is a report of rampant abuses or flagrant abuses of rights, I will take steps to investigate. First, because these are agencies under my ministry, I will take steps quickly, maybe within a day, to investigate administratively. And if there's a need to raise the investigation to a criminal investigation and then to proceed to prosecute, I will do so. That is what I meant by in order to deal with those, a type of complaints. But of course, you are perfectly right. I do not necessarily need a complaint to be able to do that. As a public law enforcement officer, in the event that there are reported acts of abuses taking place, I am ethically and legally bound to take steps in order to investigate and prosecute. So I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Attorney General for answering the question. Just to let him understand that I understand the word swiftly very well. It is in this conversation that I needed him to bring to bear what he meant by swiftly, and he's done so. So there wouldn't be the need to throw jabs at
Question number 348, standing in the name of Mr. Duke Williams. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, I think we've exhausted your questions. I thank you very much for attending upon the House and providing answers to questions. The rest of the questions are already slated for the Minister responsible for Fisheries and Aquaculture. So the Minister has been seated for some time. I'll ask her to take the designated seat before I called on the questioner to pose a question. Minister, you are welcome. I will then refer to question number 348 and ask Mr. Duke Williams, Kwame Amwako Ata, Ofori Ata, Member of Parliament for Fantiakwa South. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture how the ministry intends to ensure the targeted 38,604 metric tons increase in aquaculture production in 2025 is achieved, and what monitoring mechanisms are put in place to track outputs by regions. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, to achieve the targeted 38,604.32 metric tons increase in aquaculture production for 2025, the Ministry has adopted a focused and results-driven strategy built on capacity building, targeted support, and rigorous monitoring. Through collaboration with aquaculture training institutions, associations, partners, and the private sector operators, expanding the technical capacity of Ghanaians entering, we are expanding the technical capacity of Ghanaians entering the sector. Beyond training, the Ministry has made direct production enhancing interventions. Under the Youth in Aquaculture Program, 4,372 youth and women were trained and supported with 4,112 fish holding facilities. These are ponds, tanks, and cages. 3.3 million fingerlings and 34,000 bags of feed were also given across the country. With this intervention and the work of the private fish farmers' activities, and based on standard production parameters, including a 10% mortality allowance and good water conditions, the expected output from these facilities positions us to meet the 2025 target. Right Honorable Speaker, to ensure effective tracking of regional output, the Ministry maintains a nationwide monitoring system. Our regional and zonal fisheries officers undertake routine field assessments and collect verified aquaculture production data. This information is collated at the regional level and transmitted to the head office for analysis, enabling timely management decisions and targeted interventions where required. In summary, the Ministry's combined efforts, strategic capacity building, direct production support, and a structured data-driven monitoring framework provide a solid basis for achieving the aquaculture production increase set for 2025. Thank you.
Yes, any supplementary questions?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, there has been an uptick in tank farms in the eastern region. I asked the Minister, please, what plans you have put in place to provide logistics to the experts to support these youth, and especially the youth require machinery for smoking and packaging. What plans does the Ministry have to help them out? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. If you paid attention to the 2026 budget that was read recently in this House, you'd realize that allocation has been made for aquaculture development, and it is sizable enough. The strategic approach is to engage youth and women in cooperatives to support that. In terms of machinery or equipment to give to them for processing, I think that's what I heard, for fish processing, and perhaps even canning. We don't have that yet. But that exercise will be best implemented with partnership with the private sector. And so we are looking into that. Thank you.
Any other question?
No more questions, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, in view of the fact that question number 348 is similar to question number 363, may I give the floor to Honourable Rudolph Amwako Jampa to probably ask if you have as a follow-up.
Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 88.3. I have the authority by the honourable member to ask the question on his behalf. Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
may I seek your
What I'm
leave?
saying is that
Yes, that one.
if
Yeah.
you look at this question, 363
Yes.
and 348 is similar.
Yeah.
And the answer that the minister has provided applies to this particular question. Because
Yes.
if you go to look at the answers,
Yes.
the minister is just making reference to the answer to question 348.
Yes.
So that is why I'm giving the opportunity if you have any supplementary question.
No, please.
Because
no,
it's the same question that has been answered.
We are going to.
So if you have a supplementary, you can ask the supplementary.
No, we are going to come under 92 to withdraw that one.
Very well.
Okay.
Very well. So
I'm doing the
then,
361.
Then let me call the question number 361, also standing in the name of Rudolph Amwako Jampa.
Thank you, Mr.
Upper
Speaker.
Denchira West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I come under Order 88.3. I have the authority by the honourable member to ask the question on his behalf. Mr. Speaker, may I seek your leave?
Please do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture how the premise fuel automation project is addressing issue of diversion, hoarding and safety, and the solution strategy the ministry is developing to improve transparency and distribution efficiency. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Right, Honourable Speaker. The premix fuel automation project is being progressively rolled out nationwide, and when fully operationalized, will help to reduce diversion, limit hoarding, and improve safety at automated outlets. The installed sites are equipped with calibrated fuel level sensors and controlled dispensing units linked to a central server, providing near real-time visibility of fuel stocks, deliveries, and transactions. Digital display screens at dispensing points ensure accurate issuance. When the full network is operational, these measures will deliver complete end-to-end transparency across the entire premix supply chain. Though diversion and hoarding have minimized, challenges persist primarily because the canoe identification cash system requires updating. The ministry has therefore initiated a nationwide audit and cleanup of the CIC registry to ensure that only verified and legitimate fisher folk are aligned with the automated system. Until the process is completed, beneficiary validation continues to be supported by the oversight of chief fishermen and their secretaries. On safety, the automated sites already upgraded now feature double-walled tanks, pressure relief valves, overfill alarms, fire suppression equipment, and secure control panels, significantly reducing operational risks. These standards will be extended to all outlets as the rollout advances. Right, Honorable Speaker, the automation project is central to the Ministry's long-term strategy for a transparent, efficient, and accountable premix distribution system. As more sites come online, the system's tracking, reporting, and monitoring capabilities will strengthen further. Full operationalization, including integration with digital payment systems, will minimize cash handling risks, improve governance, and ensure timely, equitable supply based on real-time consumption data. Thank you very much.
Yes, any supplementary?
No other supplementary.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I want to find out from the Honorable Minister of Fisheries, when was the last time they updated the canoe identification card?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. As the automation project is being rolled out, we are forced to have this done on a site-by-site basis, because what we realized was that there were individuals. So to explain, the canoe identification system allows you, a fisherman is registered on the card with the number of canoes that you have, and that allows you to get premix from the automation outlet. What we are realizing is that there are some individuals who do not own canoes, who do not know how to paddle on the sea, yet they got the cards, and therefore they were getting premix and hoarding and selling at a higher price, and diverting. So we are actually in the process now, validating the CIC cards on side-by-side basis as soon as an outlet is ready. Yes, we are doing that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I further want to find out from the Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture if they've arrested any corporates with reference to hoarding or diversions, and what the ministry has done about these corporates.
You want to find out whether somebody has been arrested? So if they have arrested somebody who is hoarding, very well, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, there has been an arrest of 2 individuals who were involved in hoarding and selling at a higher price, and the matter is before the court now. Thank you.
Yes, question number 363. Standing in the name.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
That's the question that has been withdrawn.
Yes, no. He said, I was given the opportunity that in view of the fact that the questions are similar.
Yes, yes.
Whether he has a supplementary question. The indication was that he will withdraw it when we get there. So now that we are there, I need to formally give him the opportunity to have the question withdrawn. Honorable member, with the permission from Rudolph. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I come under Order 92. May I seek your leave to withdraw the question?
Leave accordingly granted. The question hereby withdrawn as being similar to an earlier question asked. Honorable members, question time is ended. I will use the opportunity to thank the Minister for attending upon the House and answering questions. Minister, you are discharged. Honorable members, by the power vested in me by Order 56-2, and in view of the fact that we've sat in excess of 5 hours, I will then proceed to have the House adjourn. Honorable members, the House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, 19th October 2025 at leaders at yes, majority, Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, adjourn to midday tomorrow.
Very well.
Midday tomorrow.
Yes, the House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, 19th October 2025 at 12 o'clock noon.
So that was the House of Parliament. Today in the seat was Bernard Ahiafo. And of course, the House started with the debate on the government's economic policy statement for the year 2026. I'm referring to the 2026 budget statement as presented by the Finance Minister, Dr. Cassiel Ato-Forson. Quite an interesting debate with commentary or remarks made by various members of the side of the House on either side. A number of interesting, if like remarks or commentary was made regarding the 2026 budget as presented by the Finance Minister. The House subsequently moved into question and answers because some questions had been tabled by some members of Parliament for specific sector ministers to answer to. And so appearing before Parliament to answer questions on the floor were the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayene, and then you had the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Emilia Arthur, the Honourable, also appearing before the House. Quite an interesting session, if you ask me, with the Attorney General, because most of the initial question actually was posed by the Honourable Minority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, but in his stead, the question was read on his behalf due to his absence in the chamber at the moment. But it had to do with bail conditions and, of course, the recent terms or bail bonds as posed by some agencies under the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice regarding the Office of Economic Crime, IOCO, and of course other agencies under the Attorney General's department. The question had to do with the justifications as attached to the bill terms. And the Attorney General put out some explanations saying that none of the agencies under the department or the Justice Ministry is acting arbitrarily. Okay, so what he's basically saying is that nothing out of the ordinary has been done. And he also justified the recent terms, if you like, bill terms as set by IOCO and other agencies. Of course, he had a provision in the Constitution which he quoted to back same. And so these justifications were made. Then, of course, it was the turn of the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Emilia Arthur, who had mostly to respond to questions on premixed fuel and, of course, that automated project, automation project that's currently being rolled out nationwide. She explains that it's progressively being rolled out and will soon be digitized so that all fisher folk, okay, across the country have access to premixed fuel accurately and timeously. My colleague, Hansen Adjiman, has been monitoring the day's proceedings and is joining me to bring some perspectives to this particular session today that we've had regarding Parliament today. So, Hansen, thank you so much for joining us. There was the debate on the budget, which preceded, of course, the question and answer session for the various sector ministers. Quick thoughts on what has happened in Parliament today.
I think when it comes to the budget, a number of people have been hoping to hear from the various MPs because the democracy we practice is such that it is a representative one, and obviously our MPs represent us in Parliament and they convey the various views of the Ghanaian people. And you could see the diverse opinion. Of course, with the NPP, you would not be surprised to hear them have issues with the budget. And with the NDC side in Parliament, trying as much as possible to justify the budget that was presented by the finance minister in the person of Dr. Kissel Atoforsen. And a key one I think, was the approval of the GRA.
The GRA-Tata deal.
Tata deal. And
quite a controversial one,
yes,
actually.
But we have also been told that this is an antecedent from the IMF deal.
Right.
And so it was expected that at least the MPP side who negotiated the deal would give that full support. We are told that they're supposed to help in GRA's revenue mobilization. Remember, you would agree that one of our problems, one of the major problems that has to do with our economy is the revenue mobilization problems. And so if this has been approved, a tax waiver has been given them so that they can operate optimally, eventually to the benefit of the country. And that is the essence for tax waivers, so that we can reduce their own cost of production. And at the end of the day, the rippling effect, Ghanaians will be able to benefit more from it than if we had actually taxed them. And I think one was for the budget debate, that was one of the highlights
for today.
For
the GRA-Tata consultancy deal, quite a controversial one, as I mentioned, because the history behind that will have to do with the oppositions and the rejections that earlier surrounded this, and of course, if you like, the info that or the allegation that GRA was willing a tax mobilization to a foreign company. However, the finance minister, in response to the opposition by the minority to the 20% withholding tax exemption, did mention that indeed the IMF was in agreement. He himself found the data quite positive. The NPP, or the minority that negotiated it in their regime, also found the same
but you understand your position, because if you remember, during the dying ends of the NPP administration. There were issues about tax exemptions that
tax
the
waivers, yeah.
minority then, that's the NDC minority in Parliament, was vehemently against, and indicated that to go ahead with tax exemptions, there's a need for you to have a certain legal framework to guide the process and to make sure that tax exemptions are not given to cronies, because then that was the allegation. And so if the minority, I mean, during their time, the NDC in opposition opposed the idea of tax exemptions, I mean, it's politics that they're doing in the House as well.
Politics as usual for them.
And so you would expect that they would oppose. But obviously, if the finance minister says, having looked through it, and this is a deal we are made to believe that began from the NPP while in government, and if the finance minister, having reviewed same, is confident that this is good for the people of Ghana, we can only wait and see how it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, as a matter of revenue, remember the dangerous DDEP that we had to go through. It was because of, obviously, the revenue we're generating locally was not enough, and then we're not getting enough from the domestic bonds, and because of our poor ratings out there, we had been shut from the foreign bond market, and so there was a deep hole to be filled, and so we need to bring we had to bring the haircut, which affected a number of people. I mean, even in savings of young people were affected. The old. It affected almost everybody. You remember the pensioners.
Exactly, who actually had to picket at the finance ministry.
At the finance ministry.
And all.
And then the MPP themselves, they've actually admitted that the DDEP, to a large extent, is one of the reasons they lost the 2024 general election. So any efforts to increase our revenue, because over the years we've always had a budget deficit, meaning that our expenditure is always more than our revenue. And the sad part is that on the face of the budget, our expenditure is more than the revenue. Right. And then when it comes to implementation, the gap widens more. Indeed. And that's why there was a fiscal bill, which was, let's say, suspended during the COVID period, which was to ensure some legal framework that a government cannot go beyond a 5% budget deficit. And I think these are some of the things that we need to look out for. If you remember the recent report that was released by the NDPC, you look at the number of stalled projects and the increased cost that it brought to wage bill, it all adds to these budget deficits. They might be minute in their own way, but at the end of the day, it adds to the bigger economy and affects the livelihoods of thousands of Ghanaians.
Indeed. So, I mean, some members of parliament today had their say, had the opportunity to run commentary on the budget. Some of the adjectives they use in describing the budget, quite interesting. I think today we had 9 on the minority side and 6 on the majority side. The irony there, because if you look at the numbers in the House, the majority actually has more members than, but I mean, it's their budget.
The concept of Parliament is that the minority should have their say.
Majority will have
their way.
Very well. Attorney General appeared before the House to answer some questions posed by members. First question was read on behalf of the minority leader, had to do with bail conditions. What do you make of the response as given by the AG?
I think that the response largely, it's one that I would have expected from the Attorney General, because this is the practice that I have observed as a court correspondent, that per convention and per practice, judges will usually want to give the bail bond close to the sum involved in the case. And so the investigative bodies also tend to learn same. I mean, we talk about Yoko's 60 million, but here's a case that Osei Asibe went to court and he was given 800 million bail because the amount that we're talking about in total is about 1.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Right.
And so you want to match up the bail bond, and there's been a lot of reforms and judicial pronouncement on the bail process. Initially, if you stand surety for someone and the person absconds, apart from paying the money, you were supposed to also serve some jail term if you are not able to produce the person.
Right.
Kind courtesy the advocacy by Martin Pebu, he argued before the Supreme Court that this is a civil matter, and so you cannot jail someone if I stand surety for you and you abscond when I've not done anything in aiding your committing of the crime or in you absconding. Why will I have to face jail term? And so it remains a civil matter that the state will now have to take me through legal processes of retrieving the bail bond.
Right.
The state, having that on hindsight, will want to have a bail bond that even if you abscond and they're able to take the money from me, it will be close enough to what the matter is about. But the concern generally has been that we run a system where we say you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. So you accuse me of stealing 5 million Ghana cedis. The law says I'm presumed guilty.
Innocent.
I'm presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now you take me to court or you are investigating me and you want to grant me bail. But you say the 5 million Ghana cedis that is involved in the case, we need to give you a bail bond of close to 3 million Ghana cedis. Now, this is the scenario. I'm just young out of school, for instance. I don't have any property. You don't have, and at that point, it's only the prosecution's words that we are hearing. And the likelihood that I have not stolen the 5 million is high, or maybe high. And so when you intend to equate the bail bond to that of to equate the bail bond to that of the sum involved in the money.
Case.
In certain instances, you'll be very unfair to the accused persons because what if these are trumped up charges? What if these are trumped up figures? And you know that you can amend your charge sheet going forward. What if, I'm not saying that that is the practice, but what if to get a high bail bond where I would be in jail for a long time, they just put together certain figures to raise the amount to 10 million Ghana cedis, and I have to be on a bail bond of 8 million Ghana cedis. I don't know anybody who owns a house in Accra. The only person who owns a house is perhaps my father in my village in Badu. If you value that house in Badu, you won't get close to 100,000 cedis. If all my village people in Badu come together, we may not get to 2 million Ghana cedis. It will mean that I would have to be in, and so that is, those are the issues we need to look at. And so I think, yes, the Attorney General would make the arguments as a practice and as a convention. But as a Minister of Justice, I think he needs to take a second look at it, because in some situations and in most situations, it is unfair. Even beyond these political cases, the bail process in itself, when people are given bail, you speak to their relatives, you speak to them, the stress you go through, there are people called bail contractors. So bail is supposed to be free. They give you bail for 100,000.
They take a percentage.
You are not getting any house, and so you can pay them 5,000 or 7,000 or 10,000. Now they take documents. I don't know where they get their documents from. They take those documents to go and execute the bill for you. So in that chain, a certain middleman corruption process has also been created there. So even beyond these political harsh bill conditions, the bill process in itself ought to be tidied up appropriately. And I think that the Attorney General should move away from I need to defend or explain to looking at the process and seeing how we can make sure that justice is even served at that particular point in time when we are presuming that people are innocent and
this is important because he wears two hats as the Attorney General, and as the Chief Prosecutor, and as the Minister of Justice.
Because as Minister of Justice, your number one duty is to do justice to the
justice
people.
to the people. Indeed. Thank you so much, Hansen. Hansen Ajiman is my colleague here in the City Newsroom, Channel 1 Newsroom, bringing us some perspectives to proceedings in Parliament today regarding the budget, 2026 budget, and the ensuing debate by members of Parliament today. Subsequently, ministers of state appeared before the House to answer to questions posed by some MPs. Major highlight was that of the Attorney General, Dominic Akuritinga Ayene, and it mostly had to do with bail conditions and recent bonds set by agencies such as the IOCO, and he defended the allegation or accusation that bail is being weaponized to punish political opponents who served in the previous administration. This has been our coverage of proceedings from Parliament. Stay with us. We'll bring you updates in our major news bulletin, Channel 1 Newsroom, at 8 p.m. But go online, channel1newsonline.com. You get all the updates there. Also, visit citynewsroom.com and you get all the updates there as well. I am Nanatufo Boateng. Many thanks for your time. Keep watching Channel 1 TV.
Dear Santa, all I want this holiday
is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
to go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game. Some giggles.
And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Hey, Ghana. So you people know Miss Brother Man Small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the great. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya bois, faha.
Kelvin, be a good boy. Focus on your studies and don't follow girls with longer life than their future.
My son is under VIP security and I'm the head of domestic affairs. Johnny Mami, don't be optical. Guys, we need to boss in my mother Roma. Ma, Johnny Mami, what? Milko Jono. Boy, me more feeling what?
Okay, senior, thank you.
Yeah, you think it's free? Major garage and Katia, sugar. Yeah, Mami no nyase mwate. Survivor pack. Hey, that a beating. To make a torture boss. H&H garage. Wait now. So ya garage. For me. Oh yeah. Chapamas.
You have the choice to pick and choose. So ya choco garage. Boys and girls, why I say?
What they going for here?
This advert is FDA approved. Usika upenti kana say wawude upenti yewu hey oh my God I'm say oh man wangwa usika upenti enti kana say hey nkoda o ne bisatite hey I'm saying, queer Dutch. Yes, sorry. And I've won, sorry. I'm quite Body girl, I'm saying about Samrani. We are losing our motherland, Ghana. Yes, you know, I say, I haven't seen it. Oh, sick and Ghana, say, then come on into a woody pharmacy. Hey, I want to for very hour come now. I say, can I get it? Girl, I'm so